Hi guys, welcome back to Infinite Possibilities, the podcast where we explore the lives of amazing people, their choices, challenges and opportunities. And today I have a very special guest, Matthew O'Connor. Hello.
Yeah, hi, how's it going?
Good, thank you. How do you like this new room? Apparently you live in darkness, so this is your...
Yeah, no, this is very much at home for me.
Yeah, and how do you like that spotlight above your head?
It's kind of showing off some of the contours of my face, so yeah.
Natural contouring 101. Great. So Matt, what is your kind of 1 minute intro? What do you do?
So yeah, I guess I'd say my name is Matthew O'Connor. I work at KPMG in their finance advisory team. We mainly specialize in process optimization and otherwise things like cost modeling, just a range of different financial services. Otherwise, in my spare time, I am a part of the Australian Powerlifting League. I've just started lifting in powerlifting
Show us those muscles.
Semi-professionally, yeah. Not much to see on the bicep front. And I train about 4 days a week, say. Otherwise, for volunteer work, I currently volunteer with the Pajama Foundation in their Love of Learning program. We basically tutor foster children in maths, English, whatever it is they want to do. But if it does come to just mainly building a relationship, we can just play games. Otherwise, yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun and sounds like a lot. So we would dig into how you do that time management. Yeah, but right from the beginning. So Matt, tell me, what kind of kid were you like growing up?
Kid growing up, I'd say I was quite a bit reserved. Main reason being is that I was diagnosed with high functioning ASD from a younger age. Yeah, and so that definitely did kind of impact my ability to make friends, and the asthma on top of that didn't really help my sporting life either, so I couldn't really make friends through that avenue either. Yeah.
And for our listeners who don't know what ASD is,
yes.
What is ASD?
So ASD stands for Autistic Spectrum Disorder. Some years back, it was kind of classified whether or not you were high functioning, low functioning, you have Asperger's, all those different ranges. Nowadays, it's kind of looked at as rather just a spectrum of different symptoms. You could be more exposed to some, less exposed to others. So yeah, colloquially, what the range of the spectrum I'm on would be known as high functioning, but yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the symptoms, I suppose, if I could just go over them off the top of my head, some people with ASD are more susceptible to audiovisual stimuli. Others have issues with social interaction. Yeah, that would mainly be me, I'd suppose. Yeah. Otherwise, motor neuron ability can be impacted. So I was swimming from a young age to try and rectify that. Yeah,
that's cool. And do you have any siblings growing up?
No siblings.
Oh, the only child. Spotlight on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you told me you had asthma, so it was kind of hard to make friends through that avenue. So how was your social life when you were younger, especially with Asperger's?
I'd definitely say my social life before, I guess you'd call it middle school, junior school, whatever it is, year 5 onwards. Preschool through year 4, I remember actually having quite an active social life.
Oh,
and I think,
high functioning and high social.
Yeah. I think that just did kind of come out of me being able to express more of my creative side when I was younger.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you hit something like middle school, you have to kind of conform to what's more on the popular end of things, I suppose. Yeah, so from then until, I'd say until the end of high school, it was never really easy for me. Some friends would come and go. I had 1 or 2 that were pretty consistent, but
That's pretty good.
yeah, no, things got a lot better outside of school, I will say that now.
Yeah, that's awesome. And can you tell me what kind of interests did you have growing up?
Yeah, so interest growing up, by far, the 2 that would come to my head are video games, particularly that all kind of started with the PlayStation 2 and consoles like the Wii.
Strong, huh?
Oh yeah, no, and the card game Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh.
Yeah, that was actually one of the biggest facilitators of my social life in and around middle school and high school, yeah.
Yeah. And can you also tell me more about asthma? So is it that it's very hard for you to do what kind of physical exercise? Does it affect your
So it's kind of, my brand of asthma thankfully doesn't affect me whatsoever on just a day-to-day effort where I get up in the morning, make breakfast, come into the office, go home at the end of the day. Doesn't really affect that.
Okay, that's good.
What it can affect is, like, I guess you can call it sustained high amounts of effort. Like if you were to say run or swim or lift something heavy, yeah, that can tighten up your airways.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of, yeah, it has a similar impact on your lungs as far as I understand it to someone who smokes semi-regularly. Yeah. And there's nothing, pretty much nothing you can do about it other than some medication called particularly Montelukast that like helps to open that up over time.
Yeah.
And also an inhaler, which can be a very sharp steroid type medicine to help out with that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. And then let's go back to school. So you were doing like okay socially and then high school, not so good.
Yeah.
But what about in terms of, did you have any favorite subjects? Were you strong academically?
Academically was the academics were definitely my strong suit, I would say.
Oh, high functioning, hello.
Yeah. I definitely say that I wasn't like naturally talented. It was actually a friend of mine that I met through playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That kind of got me on the path to doing better academically, and it was strictly because of what our school gave us in terms of like academic medals. If you got A's in all but one subject, that would be a gold. All A's but 2, that would be silver, 3 would be bronze.
Wow.
Yeah, so I tried starting from I think middle of year 6, like really hard. Yeah, and ended up getting a silver on my first go around, which was very good. Yeah, then once I got that on my blazer, it kind of became, yeah, I wouldn't say an addiction, but
an obsession.
No, I wanted to build up that repertoire. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, by the end of high school, it was covered the one side. Yeah.
Wow, that's so amazing. And was it like winning for the sake of winning or winning for the love of learning?
Oh, I'd definitely say it was medal based. Being honest, it was that I could like display my efforts on my on something that I was wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that definitely.
You can see it and be like, whew, high functioning.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep saying that.
Yeah.
Right, and what were your strongest subjects?
Strongest subjects. Damn. I think natural ability. Probably like right towards the end of high school, it surprisingly became English. Yeah, just in terms of my ability to analyze and what's the word, read like certain texts and like the conclusions that I could draw out of it. Yeah, as well as what I could like write in the creative space. Yeah.
Yeah.
That became something that I didn't really need to try as hard at. Mathematics I was also like pretty good at, I'd say, but I did need tutoring up until the end of high school, particularly with things like worded questions to wrap my head around those. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in a past conversation you said that learning, it was quite difficult, and could you tell me more about that journey? You also said getting speech pathologists, that kind of thing.
Yes, so thankfully, when I was around, I guess, geez, I don't know the exact age that I would have started speech pathology, but it may have been in and around when I was 4 or 5. Yeah, so that's more, it is honestly just done with the goal to get you talking and to get you reading and understanding things and comprehending people better. Yeah, so I guess where that factored into my, what's the word, schoolwork would be my ability to digest and analyze questions correctly and articulate my responses in a way that, well, I guess regular people can understand. Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise it'll make sense to me. It's not going to make sense to most other people. Yeah.
Yeah. And is there a way, how would you, like, if someone doesn't know what it's like to have Asperger's, how would you sort of describe it?
Oh, well, I remember drawing this in and around like my very melodramatic years, probably year 9, year 10. I remember drawing an image of, do you remember like the yellow, red, and white audiovisual cables for like any consoles and the rest? I remember drawing a picture of like the back of someone's head, you can say it was mine, and like you've got the 3 inputs and all 3 cables are like either jammed into the wrong hole, like jammed into the side or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so that's how I probably describe it. All the cables are there, but they're twisted, they're tangled, they don't run as efficiently as they probably could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also have amazing social skills. So how did you improve from the beginning, I guess?
Geez. Yeah, no, this has taken like years of concerted effort. Yeah, in that yeah, I just had to kind of force myself to be able to talk to different people and meet different people. Hilariously enough, one of the biggest factors that helped me outside of school was, funnily enough, alcohol. Not to say I'm an alcoholic, but it definitely kind of helped, like, in just meeting new people when I was out, to kind of loosen up my my social inhibitions and just go for it. Yeah.
So if I were to meet you 10 years ago, how would the convo start? I'd be like, hi, I'm Karen, nice to meet you.
I'd probably be, like, polite enough to, like, I guess, introduce myself and all the rest. But from then, my particular type of ASD would have it that it's like this little voice in the back of my head. It still kind of comes up from time to time being like, oh God, I've got zero idea what the hell to talk about. I'm just going to nod my head, ask a couple of questions here or there, and try to exit the room as quickly as I can.
Yeah. And what about in terms of reading facial expressions and emotions? Was that hard to pick up? Or?
That took some time.
Yeah.
No, like, to give you an idea of, like, how off base people with ASD can be with misreading facial expressions. There was, I'm so embarrassed by this story, but there was a fella from my my old school, and he came in, I think I was in like year 10, so this was in 2015. His dog had just passed away, like the past few days or something like that. And he was, like, you know, consoling with our group to an extent. He kind of, like, plopped his lunchbox on the table, looked at what he had, and he's just like, I'm not hungry. And it's like, and you know what my response to that was?
Eat that?
Can I take the tiny teddies?
What flavor were they?
Oh, chocolate, I think.
Nice. Good to know if you want to bribe Matt. Tell me, what was his response?
Oh God, the classic, everyone kind of looks at you like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Obviously, I can look back on that now and laugh, but Jesus, I felt terrible right afterwards. Because I realized what I'd just basically done.
So as soon as you said it, you knew?
Yeah, like, I guess some people's ASD, you're a bit better at, some people are more at introspective thinking than others. Me, I'd say, like, sometimes I do it too much, to too big of an extent, but no, it can definitely be, like, right afterwards I can be like, what the f did I just say? Oh my God, that's horrible. Oh no.
So this is your time for redemption, so what would you like to say to that guy?
I am sorry. I mean, we're still friends now. We talk every now and then. I think he's I think he's a marine biologist now.
Oh, that's very cool.
He's some of the most, like, interesting parts of my LinkedIn feed most days. And what he's doing.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. And then so we're going to talk about careers. So when you're younger and you're thinking about the future, what was kind of floating through your mind?
Oh, well, I guess going through, like, what I was thinking of in primary school, like most kids, I was probably wanting to be, like, an astronaut.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty common answer, I suppose. But I do remember in year 6, I got quite a vested interest, actually, in forensics, of all things. The more, you know, dissecting through evidence, detective work type of stuff. You know, I remember that being, like, a very engaging term of school when I was doing that. So I guess that was one thing that, like, I kind of had something of a an interest in early on. But then in around, let me think, year 9, year 10, I helped out my dad here or there with some Excel work, some, like, dashboard stuff that he would do for his work, fixing up formulas, getting manual input and, like, data into sheets and all the rest. But from there, I kind of grew more of an interest in dashboard management and Excel skills. And so that's definitely leveraged its way into what I do nowadays.
Wow, your dad changed your career, basically?
I guess,
Cool. And in terms of your parents' expectations, did they have anything they wanted you to be? Were they like, team astronaut? Woo.
No, nothing in particular. I guess the biggest thing that they taught me was just to do something that I'd be able to support myself, I guess, sustainably with. Like, to not get some degree that would make me struggle getting a job afterwards. Something quote unquote safe, I suppose. So that was that factored into my decision of doing initially at uni a dual degree with mathematics and commerce. But then 2 years in, I kind of realized math wasn't really, it was a very big interest for me and I loved the work, but it wasn't something I saw myself making a career out of. So that's when I opted out of that, did a second major in my commerce degree to do both accounting and finance, and that's where I am now.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if someone were to ask you what's the difference between accounting and finance, what would you say?
Geez, they definitely have a bit of overlap, but accounting can involve anything from bookkeeping, general ledgers, income statements, balance sheets, all of that, as well as audit services. Meanwhile, finance more so involves stuff like actually looking at the numbers and making, I don't know, I guess you can do that in accounting as well. Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes to describe it, but I guess finance has more of a range in terms of what you can do with your career, such like, process efficiency and process optimization, looking at a business's internal systems and saying, this can be optimized, why aren't you doing best practices here or there? Yeah, it's got kind of like a wider range of things you can do with it.
Yeah, fair enough. And how was your uni experience? Was it easier to make friends?
Uni experience, funnily enough, I didn't make that many new friends at uni, but what came out of uni and the different, I guess, social aspects that came out of that was I became much closer with a few friends from my old school. Like, I knew them here or there. We hang out like every now and then, but through uni and things we're able to do together, those are my most consistent group of friends, I want to say. Yeah, nowadays. No, and I always love also catching up with them, no matter how that is, we do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's your favorite way to catch up? Is it the gaming catching up?
Oh, no, we usually go to, what's the word? One of our buddies, he still lives with his folks, but they're sometimes out for like whole weekends on like little trips together. So yeah, we'll catch up Friday, Saturday night, put on a movie, have some drinks, and yeah, it's a good time all around.
Shout out to his parents. They could use something.
Oh, they know. They know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how did you enjoy your degree? Did you enjoy it more than high school? You know, just solely doing things that you were good at, I guess?
Yeah, I definitely say like with uni, I, like many other people, enjoyed how much freedom I had in terms of how I approached my study and how I structured my different timetables, how I would go about looking at exams and assignments. Yeah, I also definitely enjoyed the group assignments a hell of a lot more because in high school you don't always get the best people for the job.
Yeah. I was going to say the same with uni, but looks like you got lucky.
Yeah, no, all of my group assignments past year 12, I've more or less hit the jackpot on pretty much all of them in terms of having people that, like, not to say they always have all the answers, I certainly don't, but they try. Yeah, they try, they do their bit. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that is awesome. Cool. And then you graduated uni and then you started job hunting. How's that?
Yes. So, yeah, honestly, like, how I got into KPMG was kind of a funny story. I was very burnt out starting my final year of uni, even though I only had to do 3 subjects in the first semester and 2 in the second.
Oh, how did that be?
Just kind of the way the math dual degree, my time in that was split with the commerce degree and what I had left to do, I suppose. Yeah, it wasn't exactly even towards the end. Very glad I did 2 subjects in my last semester because one of those 2 subjects was income tax law, which as far as I'm concerned is 2 subjects wrapped in a trench coat. Any law subject is.
I agree.
Yeah. But what was I going on to before?
You were burnt out, and then you had a funny story about how you got into campus.
Yes, no. Oh, well, I wouldn't exactly say it was funny. My dad more or less reached out to me one day when I was just kind of sitting on the couch at home with my partner, just being like, hey, Matt, KPMG have opened up their grad positions. Maybe you should, throw out an application. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should. Okay, sure, but we'll see how this goes. And people are going to be fucking angry at me when I admit this, I had never applied to another job outside of uni, outside of KPMG. My first attempt was the one that I got.
Oh, nice.
Which is a miracle as far as I can tell in terms of the people that can spend weeks on months on potentially a year looking for different things. Yeah, so no, I hit the jackpot with this. Yeah, no, I prepared like hell for the different interviews and the different things we had to do to get into the grad position. Yeah, and I remember my interview with the finance team going really well, and I knew I had to make a pretty like sharp impression. I was the first interview of the day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which I was like, great. They're just, they're just coming out of bed probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I remember that going really well. They were very, I don't know, patient with letting me give my answers, and they were very accommodating and friendly, I suppose.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't what I was expecting. Yeah, I guess I was expecting like much more of like a very corporate-y bravado, but no, they were very generous with their time and all the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and then a week later a week later I got the good news by text.
Later.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like, check your emails. It was a text from KPMG saying, we've got amazing news for you. Check your emails. And I'm like, no.
Oh,
yeah. And
so good.
yeah, that night my partner and I were staying over at my parents' place when I saw the email, and yeah, celebrations all around.
Wow.
Because my final year of uni, I didn't have to worry about looking for a job. I hadn't even started my semester yet.
Wow. Give your dad a big kiss, huh?
Oh yeah, no, he got major props for helping me through that. Yeah. No, damn.
And so how does one ace the interview process? We all want to know now. Come on.
Oh, geez. I suppose, yeah, for me, it kind of just started with familiarizing myself with the company values of the place that you're applying for. Yeah, I think before I did anything else for my KPMG preparation, I looked up what the hell does KPMG stand for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember now, but I could.
Too.
But yeah, I could tell you like right off the bat, start of last year, what it was. Yeah, 4 German names basically.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you also have to have a look at the company values, and from there.
Do you know your company values? Gonna put you on the spot.
Come on. I refuse to answer this question at this time.
Put a rain check on that.
Yeah, can we take a commercial break?
Gonna do a quick Google search. Get me the 4 German names. Wow, too good. And also, at uni, did you have any internship experience? Any clubs and society experience?
No internships, no, and I don't think I did. I intended to join multiple clubs and societies while I was there. None of that ever panned through.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of my free time was admittedly spent clubbing. And not the rest. Yeah.
Is it still in your system?
Yeah.
Or you called out?
No, as soon as I met my long-term partner, it kind of just became a thing that I'd go out with her, we'd see the price of the drinks and be like, we can do this at home. We can put on music at home and drink at home for way less.
Yeah, that's true.
Because post-COVID, because we met during COVID, it's some places like $12.50 for a whiskey and Coke.
Yeah.
I can't justify it.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was kind of the attraction to clubbing before?
I guess
to
before
meet
it was...
chicks. How are those pickup lines, Matt? Do you have any favorites?
No.
Hi,
it was all dancing.
Oh, are you a good dancer?
Dancing. No. I'm a good dancer at 11 p.m.
Wow.
No, but honestly, it was just about meeting new people. It was a very easy way for me and my friends to get together. A lot of us lived closer to the valley than anywhere else.
Yeah.
So and they're always open at ridiculous hours. So at any point in the night, you can just go, hey, do we all want to go here? Yeah. See you in 30 minutes.
Wow, so cool. And did you actually end up making any new friends through clubbing, like strangers?
Here and there, I haven't really kept in contact with most of them, but I definitely met a few people here and there.
Good social skills, huh?
Yeah, let's call it that.
Good dancing, actually.
Sure.
Yeah, sounds good and cool. Tell me more about your work at KPMG. What's a day in the life? Obviously, every consultant will be like, it's different every day, but...
Oh, well, I definitely have some odd jobs at the moment because I am on the bench currently waiting for a engagement to start. But I definitely say like a day in the life for me at the moment may be at any point helping out with a proposal and a PowerPoint pack and writing up content for one of those. It could be report writing, but most recently, and kind of the niche that I have in my team, because I definitely say, like, look, you should be well versed in everything your team does, but I think a lot of people definitely have like their niche or like a sub team within their team. The sub-team I'm a part of would definitely be the cost modeling space and the data analytics space. Yeah, love jumping into Excel, taking a bunch of junk data, which more or less sometimes it is, and someone saying, I want you to take this and I want you to give me graphs and conclusions and all the rest out of this. I love doing that. Yeah.
Satisfying graphs.
Yeah, it is the only type of work I'd say wherein I can get to 5 o'clock and be like, damn it, I have to go home now? Okay. Yeah, because...
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I'll barely hit that breakthrough. Like, I'll figure out a VBA code or I'll figure out like a really strange Excel function, because Excel at the end of the day, it is one of the most versatile apps out there, but with versatility comes a lack of specialization.
Yeah.
It's a jack of all trades, master of none. It will never do anything the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can do like most things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people know how to use it, or they can learn it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a great app in those respects.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how did you pick up your Excel skills? Is it self-learning or is it...
Yeah, it helped doing accounting and commerce in high school, but no, definitely helping out my dad with some odd jobs here or there really helped me in terms of getting my Excel skills up to par. Yeah, I guess the first thing I kind of learnt through him was the ability to use pivot tables.
Oh.
Yeah, which anyone asking me like, where do I start with my Excel learning? I say, do pivot tables first. They can be a little bit limited, but in terms of what most people need in order to do their work or create some basic analytics with the data they need, pivot tables are a godsend. They make things so easy once you understand how they work, and also things like, also you have access to stuff like timelines. So if you have a date field, and whatever date range is like within this field, it could be data from 2019, 2020, the timeline slicer will give you access to change things by years, by quarters, by months. You don't have that functionality with just doing things from a table itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can kind of finagle your way with different slices, but it won't be an all-in-one. Yeah, and that's what I really like about pivot tables when I can use them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And do you learn pivot tables by just searching it into YouTube, or do you just make it and break it, or?
Yeah, I'd honestly say like if you're looking to like learn them, watch an introductory YouTube video on how they work, but then after that, just take like a bunch of data. It could be from, DESI, like Department of Education. Yeah, just take that data, throw it into one of your own pivot tables, and just understand how the 4 different field layers work and what they're going to spit out at you. Yeah, that's what I'd honestly say for my advice. You need to kind of get that practical experience. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, and then do you have any pros and cons of your job?
I guess, consulting in general, the pros would be definitely that it's very versatile work. You're never going to kind of be just sidelined into one thing. You can be doing a variety of things on any different days. You may specialize in one thing, but your head is always kind of in like a few different spaces at once, which very much helps with not getting burnt out over time. Yeah. Cons, I definitely say, some lines of work are better accommodated to work-life balance than others. Consulting can have drawbacks in that if a client wants to meet you past work hours, there's not a whole lot you can do to stop that. Yeah, you can maybe, you can hope during the day that, this is pretty late, maybe they'll meet me tomorrow morning. Probably not. Yeah, and so if you've got stuff like gym you want to do after work, or you have other commitments, that can be a bit of a hang-up. Yeah. It's also one of the reasons that sometimes I struggle to maintain a consistent 2 early work days a week, where I start at 7:30, end at 4. Because, if a meeting starts up between 4 and 5, that's just kind of a risk you've got to take on. If that meeting pops up, you're not probably going to get out of it. Yeah. But that comes up rarely enough that it's just kind of one of those risks that I feel like I can cop. The few times that happens, because the majority of the time, you're going to get out at the time that is fair to you. Yeah, is what I find.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So we've done the main bulk questions. We're going to go on to the miscellaneous questions. So do you have any tips with dating with Asperger's?
Oh, geez, yeah. I may get into some hot water for this, but dating apps. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Oh, it was definitely Bumble.
Nice.
Yeah. So dating apps for me, it kind of cut out the initial fluff of having to actually go up to someone and saying, you know, I don't know, striking up like a conversation with whatever, using a pickup line if you want to do that.
What's your favorite pickup line?
Never had one. I don't do pickup lines. No, but yeah, it kind of just cuts out that initial fluff from conversations. And I'm not saying it will work for everyone, but for me, that was definitely a game changer. Just saying, no, I find you attractive, swipe. And Bumble, the beautiful thing about that is the girl that you're texting has to, assuming that you're straight, whatever. Yeah. The girl has to text you first.
And you like that?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And side note, I hear a lot of girls talk about how like terrible guys are with starting conversations on dating apps. Y'all are no better. I've gotten heys, how you doings, yeah, X, that's it. No.
Wow.
But I remember, what's the word? I do remember the first thing that Taylor, my long-term partner, said to me when we did meet on Bumble, and that's that, like, I see you like karaoke, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and she just kind of started the conversation from there, because I said I had an interest in it in my profile, which I'd done it a few times. I find it fun.
Yeah, what's your go-to song at karaoke?
Yeah. Oh, damn. I definitely say Electric Blue from Ice House. Yeah, that's a fun one to do. Yeah, no, but she still remembers to this day. I spelled karaoke wrong on my profile.
And English was your best subject? Oh, yeah. Wow, cool. And the second question is, if you could wave a magic wand and like not have Asperger's, would you or would you not?
Yeah, there are definitely some days wherein I do kind of, I would say yes. But generally I'd like to say no, because even though you do, like, you will have, I guess, your own challenges with whichever part of the spectrum that you're on, having Asperger's does come with a host of benefits that you can really leverage in whatever career or whatever hobbies that you're doing. Yeah, typically people with Asperger's, we are able to get into hobbies like to a much more dedicated extent compared to regular people. I don't know if that's even a term.
Obsessive, yes.
Yeah, it can be borderline obsessive. Yeah. No, yeah, so I guess there's also, I guess, I don't know if this is true or not. I think it really just is the amount of dedication that you can get into with anything that you put your mind to. Yeah. There are like, a lot of people who are at the top of their fields can be on the ASD spectrum. Yeah, so I'd say definitely has its negatives, for sure. That I don't think there's any sugarcoating around that, but you can leverage the positives to a very nice extent. Yeah, it's not, it's like I described to my my friends that, like, because they've asked me the same question, you know. I'd say, like, yeah, it's one of the things like you can live with and you can learn to leverage effectively. It's not, say, a mental disorder like schizophrenia, where it's an outright bad and you'd much rather live life without it. Yeah, I'd say I don't think there's anyone advocating for living with schizophrenia.
Oops, sorry if we offended.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I can't see why.
Whoa, we'll stop it here in case we offend anyone.
Cut it there. Cut the tape.
Cool. Brings me onto the next hobby that you have, powerlifting. Tell us more. How did it start?
So I guess that definitely started with 11-year-old Matt being like pretty much sick of swimming at that point. Yeah, thanks to my asthma, I was never going to be put up to, I guess, to like the GPS levels of my school. And my training was more so just for my low muscle tone. So at one point I just kind of said to my folks, I don't want to do this anymore. What else can I do? And so doing this with my dad initially, and initially just for years, I started doing weightlifting with him. Yeah, and initially with him it was just his home gym, and I believe we started by doing, it was bench press, leg press, lat pull downs, and bicep curls. Yeah, those are the 4 exercises that he selected that wouldn't, I guess, be too much for me when I was first starting out, but would give me a decent baseline, because the thing is that I was doing swimming for my low muscle tone, which, as far as I understand it, it doesn't affect you as long as you're active. But the moment you're not active or you're spending weeks just on the couch, you turn into a blob person.
Very good imagery.
Yeah. Oh no, I feel terrible anytime I get sick and I can't train. No, just the muscle starts going away. Yeah. Oh my God, I look 10 years older. It's terrible. Yeah.
10 years wiser.
Yeah. I wish.
Wow, too good. And then did you just fall in love with powerlifting as soon as you...
Yeah, no, so one of my best memories, I suppose, was when I was like around 11 years old, and geez, I couldn't even push the 10-kilo bar off of my chest.
Nice.
Yeah, and my dad to this day like reminds me of that to just like kind of say like, you know, how far I've come, being
really
that
cute.
now my bench press max is, I think, 130. Yeah, so no, it's definitely come a long way.
Wow.
I trained quite a bit with one of my buddies from high school while I was in uni.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We would just train at my home gym because training with my dad, he was FIFO with his work, wasn't the most consistent gym partner. And when you're doing stuff like heavy squats and heavy bench press, you need someone there watching you, especially bench press, because pretty much I want to say I couldn't even think of a good gym exercise off the top of my head that makes you work under a suspended load. Yeah, bench press does that, and it's one of the reasons why it's just that dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drop the bar, it's going to hit your chest or your throat if you don't have guards up. If you got guards up, it'll like kind of clip you, but it won't crush anything, I guess. Yeah. Deadlift, you can drop the bar. Squats, you can let it roll off your back. Not ideal, but there's always a way out. Yeah, deadlift, there's no way. Sorry, bench press, there's no way out.
Yeah. Is that from personal experience?
Yeah. Yes. I've had the bar stuck on my chest with no one watching me, and that was kind of the breaking point for me, being like, I need another partner for when my dad isn't here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when I was about 18, having 80 kilos just kind of stuck on my chest, and then me having to roll it to my hips, sit up, and then tipping the bar over this way was pretty scary. And if it was any heavier, I'm not sure if I would have been able to even do that. Yeah. No, not fun. So
glad you're here.
Yeah, got a partner. That was good. And we trained consistently together at my home gym up until we both started training at a gym over in Northside called Brisbane North Barbell. Once, I stopped living with my folks. Yeah. And no, this gym has been amazing. Yeah. The coach there, Dave Napa, and yeah, this is a shameless plug. He's really helped accelerate my progression. Yeah, in terms of not just like my weights, because admittedly, look, I'm a bench press boy at heart. There's no way around that. Squats and deadlift throughout my whole uni career were an afterthought. Yeah. So all of a sudden I get there, and these numbers, my numbers for all my lifts are whack. Like my bench press max is 130, which is pretty decent. My squat max is 140, only 10 kilos more than my bench. And my deadlift max is like 160. And like he looks at these numbers and he's like, there is no way this is possible. And no, sure enough it was.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So no, for the last 9 months now, he's been drilling me through not only just like the weights that I can do, but also the very proper technique. Yeah.
Cool. And you train like 4 times a week?
Yes.
So how does one stay disciplined?
Yeah. Oh, geez. There are some days where I'm feeling strong and I'm looking forward to going to the gym, right after work.
Is today the gym day?
Yes. Today is a gym day. Yeah. It helps that I'm not doing any compounds today. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Today's all fun things, like lat pull downs and bicep curls. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, like some days you'll be like, like very much just like, I want to get out of my chair. I want to go to the gym right now. And there are going to be other days where you feel like I hate myself. I just want to go home.
Yes.
Yeah. On days like that, I psychologically cuss myself out on the train. Like, something to the effect of, you've made this much progress. Are you seriously going to go home right now and skip a session? What's wrong with you?
Wow, that's not very nice.
No. No, there's no nice encouragement in my brain. It's, what's wrong with you? Go! It's 2 hours. Come on. You spend 2 hours watching, like, movies most days on the weekend.
Yeah.
Just go.
And that just works.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like by the time I get to the gym, I'm ready to go. I'm seeing all of my regulars, I'm saying hi to people, I'm in a good mood. It's just getting through the door that can be annoying. Yeah.
We need a transportation machine. That would solve a lot of problems, right?
Oh God, yes. Because in order to get to gym, it's very much like a concerted effort. You need to get on the train right after like an 8-hour shift, if you're lucky. Yeah. Then after the train, you've got to get in your car, you've got to sit in traffic like what I've got to do. And just kind of sit there and stew. Why am I doing this? I don't want to be here. I want to go home. And then by the time you get to gym, you see all the people like, hey, my gym nickname is Sweaty.
Can I guess why? Is it sweaty?
Yes. Hyperhidrosis. Really, really irritating skin condition. Yeah, just excessive sweating. Really bloody irritating. Again, not something that like will ruin your life, but damn, having to use like a towel under one of my hands just to write exams in high school was a pain. It still is to an extent. I'm finally on medication for it, so it's definitely helped.
So it's just excessive sweating and that's it. There's no itchiness or anything like that?
I'd say that itchiness can come about in certain circumstances. My gym progress definitely slowed down in around 2019, 2020 because I was doing MMA. So for a while I was doing kickboxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And when you're doing grappling, it's best that you wear a rash guard. Basically it's similar to Lycra spandex, I suppose. It just stops your skin from getting pinched when you're on the floor, which is a really nasty feeling and it can leave you with some pretty bad scars. So you wear that, but it's a spandex type thing. With excessive sweating, it's gonna cause rashes here and there, which definitely was irritating as hell.
Is that why you stopped martial arts?
Oh no, I stopped martial arts because asthma. I was never gonna be, here's the thing, I was realistic with myself, I was just never gonna be good at it. There are some people that can, I guess, push through it and, you know, they've started from an early age, they can learn to deal with it. I was starting mixed martial arts at 19, 18. I was never gonna be like the best at it. Never, ever. Not compared to people who have been doing it since like 11 or 12. I could hit a pad pretty hard, but doing that over a sustained effort with my asthma, especially if things go to the ground and all of a sudden, oh, I've got a knee on my chest and I can't breathe.
That's pretty scary.
I just have to be real with myself. I could be really good in powerlifting. I am never going to be the best with mixed martial arts.
Wow, so still motivated by that gold medal, huh?
Potentially. I need to get the dedication up though.
Sounds good. So where do you have time for CA? Tell me more.
Oh God,
I almost forgot about that, huh?
Admittedly, like I do have a bit too much on my plate. Something I've helped to facilitate the time I need for CA is I've actually adopted a minimalist phone setup. So I've cut out, I think, pretty much all social media barring Messenger for all of my regular friends and WhatsApp for my folks. Because I guess I could text my mum on there, but my dad ain't on Facebook. It is what it is. No, but the biggest thing that I needed to cut out of my phone, I realized, was YouTube and how much.
I love it.
I know. That's the first thing I go to as soon as I get home, like at 8 o'clock at night. It's shower, couch, YouTube. Because I definitely got like a consistent bunch of content creators that I watch pretty regularly. Shout
out to them, and who are they?
Oh, geez. I'm definitely first of all going to shout out Emp Lemon. He's he's a type of YouTuber that can put out a video once every 2 to 3 months. But they'll be in and around anywhere between, I guess, like an hour and 30 minutes. Or should I say 30 minutes to an hour? But the amount of effort that goes into those stories and those videos, I could watch them multiple times over.
So good.
He's the only YouTuber like I support financially. I donate $6 a month to him. The favorite.
That's solid.
And the other one, very much in the same vein, is Internet Historian. He covers some like actual pretty significant historical events and others that are just funny. No, same kind of thing, like a lot of effort that goes into his videos, and you could rewatch them multiple times over.
That's awesome. Finally, let's also talk about the Pajama Foundation. What is that and what do you do?
So the Pajama Foundation, I suppose, as a whole, seeks to facilitate a love of learning in disadvantaged children, those being particularly ones in foster care. So in the level of learning program, which is, I guess, the first and foremost thing they do in terms of letting you do volunteer work, you're paired up with someone in the foster care system. Yeah, you're paired up with them and their carers. You're put into contact with them, and you help them to help facilitate a connection or a rapport with you, so that you can hopefully help them with their schoolwork, or even just be an older sibling figure.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Because I've done volunteer work in high school, and I couldn't really find anything during uni that I guess suited my needs. I remember one place, they wanted me to sign a contract that would basically require me to do 3 days a week, and I was like,
that's a lot.
I ain't signing no contract.
Yeah, I ain't signing my life away.
Nah. But Pajama Foundation is an hour a week, you know?
Oh, that's pretty
They
cool.
usually put you in the area that you're living around or where you're operating in the most. Yeah, no, it is strictly kind of like, in my opinion, like one of those things where it's like the least you can do,
Yeah.
I suppose. It is literally, it's 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
Not to say what you do outside of that won't push that threshold a bit further. You can definitely spend time like thinking about, oh yeah, we might do this next time I see him.
Yeah.
Or we might play this game, or I might bring this or that and the other. Yeah, but it also kind of arose, my volunteering with them, that is, it arose from the 5 years I spent tutoring. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was an academic tutor for 5 years when I was in uni. 2 and a bit years, not quite 2.5 years, spent at Numberworks and Words, the branch in Chermside. Yeah, where I got to tutor kids all the way from preschool to year 10.
Wow.
Very big range, and you could take on any amount of kids of those year levels 4 at a time sometimes.
Wow.
One side of the room could be a year 1, the other side could be a year 10. So you've got to kind of flip the switch constantly when you're working there and be like, dumb down your language.
Yeah.
They don't know the word therefore. Yeah. And then the other side of the room, you can be a lot more loose. You don't have to really check what language you're using. Yeah, you can usually explain any word they don't understand. Yeah. And then another 3 years was spent at my old high school. Yeah, for just private tutoring. Yeah, it was, like, I'm not going to mince words, the work was a lot easier. Way easier. Yeah, than doing upwards of like 4 kids at a time.
Yeah.
Sitting down with one, and sometimes that one doesn't even show up and you get paid to just sit there because, they've missed the lesson, they've wasted your time, and you've got to wait for your next hour. So I usually just chucked on The Simpsons and threw my feet up.
Wow, too good. Yeah, and just
Great
a
job.
few more quick questions. So Matt, what do you think the meaning of life is in your opinion?
Geez, I definitely spent a fair bit more time considering that last year. Past the year of 21, I think it is statistically true that most people past the age of 21, they don't look forward to their next birthday nearly as much. Everyone past 21 feels almost not too old, but they could be younger. But everyone before the age of 21 feels like they could be older. So yeah, in and around 22, I was watching a few shows that kind of maybe like start thinking of like, I've got a limited time around and to do things, and that my perspective on it is I need to do as much as I possibly can. Yeah. So yeah, like it is kind of like a dark way of looking at things, that like I've got a limited time span, but I want to do all of these things. But at the same time, that's kind of most people's motivation to do anything.
It is.
Yeah, if you could be well and truly immortal, most people wouldn't do anything. They sit on the couch all day assuming that you had a consistent income.
Yeah.
Or you'd work for a number of years and I guess you'd invest your money. Yeah. But yeah, no, so I guess, meaning of life to me is just kind of, it's surrounding yourself with people that want to see you succeed. It's doing all of the things that you want to do, or that you've always planned on doing, because you do have a limited time to do all of those things. That's kind of just the fact of it all. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess that's the extent of it. Yeah.
Sounds good. And if you won the lottery tomorrow and finances were not a concern, what would you do differently?
Oh, geez, what do I do differently? I'd buy a house.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, my partner and I, we properly just moved into our first apartment like
Sick.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, because
Wow,
we were living in a granny flat on her parents' estate for some time. Yeah, which wasn't bad, but we definitely just wanted our own space. Yeah. that would be bar none the first thing that I do if I had like some insane amount of money just dropped in my lap. It would immediately go to property. Yeah. Decent suburb, decently sized house. I don't need a mansion. I just need like, rooms where everything can go into. Yeah.
Wow, it sounds basic enough.
Yeah. And then I guess after that, God, I'd probably buy a Mustang.
Nice.
Yeah. It's always one of those things where it's like, I'm never going to afford you, but I do like the look of you.
Yeah. So good. And the final question is, what is an ideal day in the life for you? It can be work related, it can be non-work related. What do you do? Like, wake up and what do you fill your day with?
Ideal day in the life for me is a day where I'm fully, like, I'm utilizing every hour to the fullest extent.
Oh my gosh.
As, I guess, what's the word? As kind of corny as that is, I suppose. Yeah. Ideal life for me would be I've gotten a good amount of sleep. I woke up at a decent hour and was able to get out of bed okay. Made a halfway decent breakfast. I was actually able to get a seat on the bloody train. Yeah. Got into work. Was given a reasonable amount to do. Yeah. Get out at a reasonable time. Get to go to the gym or do pajama foundation before gym, then gym. And then go home to my partner.
Yeah, awesome. It sounds like a Goldilocks situation, everything just right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I hope the podcast was fun. I definitely had a lot of fun.
Yes, no, likewise.
Yeah, and you're great at talking and great at talking about yourself.
Yeah, thanks. No, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, we'll catch you next time. Want to say bye?
Yeah, bye.
Bye.